How's it going, YouTube? It's me, the Cool Loser, and today's video is going to be on the full review of the OnePlus One with CYANOGEN mod. So let's do it to it! Oh, I can stop singing like a girl now? Okay. Alright, let's get somewhat serious back into the review of the CYANOGEN mod phone, which is by OnePlus One. It has a 13 megapixel camera on the back with dual LED, and you'll find on the front side, if you're looking at on the right, power button placement perfect for your finger to hit. On the left side, you got the SIM card port and the volume buttons, which are actually kind of hard to press because it's kind of too flush. But on the bottom, you get dual speakers. Yes, both speakers work. And you got microphone under there and the micro USB charging. On the top, you got another microphone and a headphone jack. The glass actually protrudes the frame, so if you drop the phone in a corner of it, it's obviously gonna hit more than others directly on the screen corners, and it might cause a crack. So if you're a phone dropper, you might as well get a case. And here I'm showing you how big my fingers reach across the phone. On my Nexus 5, I can touch my fingertips still, and I can still reach all the corners. There's a technique to it where you slide the phone towards your tips of your fingers and you can reach more of the corners of the phone. Now I do the same trick on my OnePlus, and you can see that I'm scooting it further. That's the way you have to use these bigger phones, to be able to reach more instead of having to get closer to your palm. But just how big is the OnePlus One? Now take a look here. My Nexus 5 fits perfectly fine in my pocket, and if I stretch up, it's still visible, but I can bend, and then my OnePlus One goes in just fine, and I can still raise my leg. And even my Nexus 7 fits my pockets. Come on now, if you guys can't fit these devices, you guys are wearing girl pants, and the size of pants I wear are originals. Obviously, girls won't put this in their pockets.
Wow.
That's why they have purses. Even though I can fit it in my pockets, it's still a large phone. To put it in perspective, it's the size of the Note 3, but yet it's smaller than the iPhone 6 Plus. And my Nexus 5 is a 5-inch screen, so I kind of prefer the smaller size screen. 5.5 is a little pushing it for me. This is how it looks like if you were using it as a phone, making calls. Who even does that these days? So let's jump on the bed and charge our device with this little block of OnePlus with this awesome flat styled USB cable all the way that will most likely charge any of the micro USB devices. When you plug it in, it feels firm. It feels like you can grab it by the cord and swing the whole phone around and it wouldn't fall off. In the back of the box, it says it's LTE, GSM, and WCDMA. For sure, it'll work on AT&T, T-Mobile, and other SIM card capable networks, but I know that CDMA is for Sprint and Verizon. So does this phone also work on their network? I don't know. I think it would, but don't quote me on that. With this little pin tool, you can just poke it and take out the little SIM tray and swap your SIM cards. Whatever SIM card that you have. Mine is a micro, and the mini ones are going to be too big, so you're going to have to go to your provider and get the micro version to fit in these phones. And as I pull my SIM tray out of my Nexus 5, which I've been going strong with T-Mobile for 10 years straight, and I'm just going to grab the other SIM tray on the OnePlus, and you realize that I didn't pull it all the way out. That's because I want to be able to insert it the right way, because the first time I took it out, I put it in the wrong way and I kind of was bending the little tray that goes flush to the phone. So make sure you just pop it out a little bit so you know which way it has to go in right. And after that, you just gotta do a reboot and watch the boot animation, and then it'll start your phone. And coincidentally, as soon as I switched phones, I did not plan this out. My dad calls me, and you can see that I got a straight call from the OnePlus One.
Hello?
Hi.
Be there in like 10, 15.
Okay. So now I go into the speed test out the LTE network off T-Mobile, and you can see my signal bars. I have 0, but yet I'm still getting 17 megabytes download with 0 bars. So you can imagine how I get with more bars, and I get around 35 in my home area. And now let's unlock the phone and go into the settings and tap into About Phone, and we'll be able to see all the information in here that comes stock with this device. I am not rooted right now, so everything you're about to see in this video, you'll be able to customize this out of the box without having to obviously have root permissions to be able to tweak your phone, because it is CYANOGEN mod after all, which gives you a stock Android experience, but with actual modifications that users would normally have to root to enjoy these features. And the stock launcher has quite a bit of customizations to change the grid size, the animations, icons, even lock certain applications so no one can get into. Now let's check out the lock screen. In the lock screen, you got some options here to enable battery status. You can select the slider shortcuts. You can change them to any application you would like and drop it off on any of these spots, and then you'll be prompted to select what other applications you want to replace it with. Maybe you don't want that lock screen, you want to try the CYANOGEN mod lock screen, which gives you this little slider with information here on the bottom, and the way to unlock, you just slide your finger down and you see that you unlock it. It's not bad, but I still prefer the Nexus styled, especially since I can customize each app. For any spot that I drop it on, it'll go to that app. I like that better. Another plus side on CYANOGEN mod is that you can create themes or download themes to completely overhaul your entire system with different colors and different icons and fonts, even different sounds and animations, and you don't have to reboot your device. It does it on the fly, and really it's that easy to do. And now let's check out the status bar, where you can remove the clock, you can change the battery style, you can also add or remove the percentage so you can see it, and the brightness control, where you can bring down the notification. As you see, it does nothing there, but if I check it on, it'll brighten up, or it'll, lower the brightness down, and I really do use it a lot. Now you can see I'm double tapping the status bar and it does nothing, but once I check the status bar, if I double tap, now it turns off the device, so instead of having to reach for the power button, I can just all of a sudden turn it off. Now bringing down your notification drawer, you will see all my toggles right there, and if I want to change that, I got some settings there that I can grab this right side of the screen and make my toggles show up automatically, but you can rearrange that to the left side, so if you grab the very left corner, it'll also drag down. As you see in the right side, it does not do it anymore. And just as easy, you can rearrange your toggles to the spots you desire, and of course you can keep adding a lot more toggles, or maybe you don't even want to see that many and you want to remove some, and it's just that easy. Or you can go old school, where you get horizontal line of quick toggles you can get to. And moving on to the gestures, when you lock your screen and it's off, you can still draw certain things while the screen is off. Launch your camera, play music, turn on your flashlight. On the turned off lock screen, I can just draw a circle and my camera will launch, so I'm ready to take pictures right away. And my circle drawings work 80% of the time. Use two fingers to play music. For pausing, play it again. I don't know if you can tell, but the dual stereo speakers are actually loud. To launch the flashlight, all we gotta do is draw a V on the empty screen, and we can see that it's working, and draw a V again, and it turns it off. That easy. Now we go into the sound. What can we change in the sound? You go into it and you'll see extra settings than what you normally will see, where you can expand the volume panel so you can control each sound individually. And then you have music effects, where you can change the equalizer presets for headphones, the speakers, Bluetooth, so you can customize it individually for all your presets. On the OnePlus One, it gives you the option to use capacitive buttons on the bottom. The lights are kind of dim, but you got the menu, you got your home button, and then you also got the back button on the right. But if you want to change that, you want to go on screen like the Nexus device, some other devices that have the on-screen buttons, you can change that as well. You could also add and rearrange the back button to be on the left, or add more on the navigation buttons on the screen. On my Nexus 5, I'm forced to use the on-screen, but honestly I like it because I don't have to accidentally press the capacitive buttons when I'm handing it or grabbing it. I don't accidentally press them. That's what I'm trying to say. When they're on the screen, I know where not to touch in the screen. But hey, that's just me, and now you have options to choose between the two. The Sandstone Black 64GB comes at $350 US, and the 16GB comes in the white color for $300. I get over 51 gigabytes to use out of the 64. With the 3100 milliamp hour battery, I got pretty good battery results, where I can use it just as heavy as my Nexus and get all day battery with up to 5 hours of on-screen time. Of course, you'll be able to log into any of these accounts and more. Talking about the battery, you can actually change the performance of the CPU, so you can get super performance or power save, where you get even better battery results. And just in case if you're wondering how quickly are you going to get updates, CYANOGEN mod is really good on that. You're running a 4.4.4, which is the latest Android version, and with my experience, they're really quick on keeping you updated. If you like to use NFC, don't worry, you got it on the OnePlus One. You could also tether, which tethering is basically a mobile hotspot where you can give other devices internet using your own data. That's usually a rooted feature, or you have to pay extra to your provider upgraded, I can do it stock without any hacks. So if you don't have unlimited data, you're still using your normal data to give other devices internet, so watch out for that. The gallery of choice is called Moments. You can download that on any device, but if you don't want to use that, then you can download others off the Play Store, of course. The OnePlus One comes debloated, where you don't get all those carrier bloat apps where they're annoying, you can't remove them. And if you didn't know, I really bought this OnePlus One so I can record in 4K. Obviously I can use this as a daily driver if I needed to, but I decided I'm not ready for the 4K rendering since it takes a lot of time to do. And since I still love my Nexus 5 and the smaller form factor, even though I can get used to this 5.5 inch screen, I still prefer the 5-inch screen on my Nexus 5. So I do know that 5.5 is not meant for me, so far I have to say. You could actually do screen casting where you can record everything you do on your phone, so you can record game videos or app tutorials. You know, you can do all that on this phone without having to be rooted. So that's something to also look forward to use this device solely for. Just because you have all these customization features doesn't mean that you can do everything that other root devices could do. With that said, you can still root the device, put different custom ROMs if you would like. For those of you guys who are not comfortable rooting or voiding warranty, you already have a more customizable device in your hand with the OnePlus One than any other device that comes stock. So really, you're in a win-win situation here. My final thoughts on the OnePlus One. Phone is very fast, it's responsive, it's definitely bigger than what I would like it to be. It feels solid in your hand. The screen is bright, even better than my Nexus 5. The camera's better than my Nexus 5. The volume is actually louder than my Nexus 5. Not as deep, but louder. And one thing that my Nexus 5 has over the OnePlus One is that it has wireless charging. This OnePlus One does not. And a matter of opinion is that the Nexus 5 also has the smaller form factor, which I prefer, and the reason why I will keep sticking next to my Nexus 5 is simply because I am not ready to jump to 5.5 inch screen, but my Nexus 5 is honestly the best comfortable phone I want and prefer. But it's also not like I have to upgrade my Nexus 5 because it does everything I still want it to do. I just really want to get my hands on the OnePlus One and share it with you guys and give you my own experience. And if you guys are looking for an invite, I don't have any, but I heard that the invite system is going to be taken off where you can completely buy it as if you wanted to buy it any other phone. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you found this video useful, please like the video, share, subscribe if you haven't so you can check out the best apps and games reviews I do. And that's all I got for this video. Until next time, I will see you later.